Coronavirus tightens its grip on the globe.
Hii ni Dira Dunia kutoka idhaa ya Kiswahili ya BBC.
We take a look at how coronavirus has rattled the business world.
Some positive news from China. It's had its first...
As the world nearly shut down in an effort to contain the COVID-19 pandemic, the cameras continued to roll, mics were on, and news sites were abuzz with news about the virus as journalists worked round the clock to keep everyone updated on the unfolding crisis. The media industry has experienced many challenges and forced to make major changes in the way it operates. Let's just say it's been business unusual. So in this episode, we break down the impact on journalists and newsrooms, as well as how it's shaping the future of the industry in Africa. This is a breakdown, BBC Africa's COVID-19 special program, helping you make sense of the crisis. My name is Shiro Morioki. Let's get started. It's been a tough year for journalists and the profession as a whole. More than 600 journalists have died worldwide due to the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a report by the Geneva-based Swiss organization Press Emblem Campaign. The organization is urging governments to prioritize journalists during vaccination because of their role as frontline workers.
We are being told that there is what we refer to as vaccine passports. And therefore, we are calling for governments to ensure that all journalists are fully vaccinated. They are given a priority to get fully vaccinated because there are countries that are not going to allow people in their countries to go there because they're not vaccinated. And therefore, we think it is important to allow journalists in African countries and wherever to have vaccines and be categorized as essential service providers so at least they can be able to move and report without any restrictions. And this should not be done in a way that also tries to curtail press freedom and limit movement of journalists in those countries.
Now, to give us a perspective on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on journalism, I'm now joined by Kennedy Wandera, who's the chairperson of the Foreign Press Association in Africa. Good to see you, Ken.
Thank you, Shiro, for having me.
Now, let's begin. Where is the COVID-19 pandemic taking the media industry?
Now we are seeing the essence of having an enhanced technology in delivering news, where now we don't need to spend a lot of time in the newsrooms. And again, we are now having new setups as newsrooms. Most of us are now working from home, a situation that we didn't have sometimes back, but now you can deliver while at home. You can attend meetings while at home virtually. You don't need to go in a compact newsroom. But on the other hand, we are having challenges in terms of increasing media freedom, governments curtailing movements of journalists because now they have to be categorized as essential service providers. If they're not in those categories, then they are not supposed to be at work.
But one of the most important things that we do as journalists is holding power to account. Do you think that we have successfully been able to do that on Africa's response to this crisis?
Yeah, so journalists have been at the forefront of highlighting these particular inefficiencies in the governments and misappropriation of money. For that particular perspective, I can say that media has been able to stand up and inform the public on how this particular money has been spent. Again, we've also had an issue where the governments are borrowing, and this has been something that the public has been worrying about, and we're glad the media has been highlighting because you don't just hide behind a pandemic to increase the public debt.
And finally, what's the future of news post-COVID-19?
You will not need a packed newsroom of many people to come and work in a newsroom. We must look beyond working in a newsroom. People sitting in different locations at home, virtually engage, virtually deliver news. And deliver news on timelines that are not fixed. Yeah, because now you have to engage a news source on Skype, you have to engage a news source or a newsmaker on different technologies to ensure that you deliver that particular news. So it's not just about leaving the newsroom, going out in the field and coming back. Those who are shy to use social media have now to use social media. Those who are shy on using technologies, now they have to use technologies because now this is a new normal. People have to leverage on these technologies to deliver. And therefore, as we move forward, there are more opportunities.
All right, Ken, thank you so much for your time.